Hello, welcome to the Workforce and Public Safety Division registration session. My name is Delisa Sidol, and I'm an academic advisor as well as an academic success counselor for the Workforce Division. Today, we're going to be focusing on two particular programs in this division, Administration of Justice and the Justice Professions. So today in this presentation, you'll be able to learn how to register for classes, the main thing that you really want to do. And then I'm going to let you know about careers that you can go into with a public safety degree, an administration of justice degree. So I'll get more into it. Welcome to everybody. Thank you for taking time to review this video. This video is being recorded for students who were not able to attend one of the live registration sessions. So welcome again to Pima. Happy to have you. So to start off with, it's really important for students to know what programs are we going to be covering in this presentation. And it's also important to know how these programs will prepare you for the workforce. So we have two programs that we are going to be covering today. And one of them has two specific concentrations. So the first one I want to tell you about is the Associate of Liberal Arts. And it has an Administration of Justice concentration. So Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts, Administration of Justice concentration. That particular program is designed for that student who really wants to go to a university. Any one of the Arizona universities are welcome to take you with this associate's degree, especially if you're going into criminal justice. So Associate of Liberal Arts is designed for that student who wants to go into a university at some point after completing the associate's degree here at Pima. Another program option for students is the Associate of Applied Science Justice Professions. Now, this program is designed for students who are interested in maybe getting some credentials so that they can go into the workforce, and they might want to start out the workforce. Maybe they might at one point want to transfer to the university, but the primary goal for them is to really start getting some theoretical training so that they can go into the workforce and potentially get promoted in that area. So with this particular degree, the Associate of Applied Science Justice Professions, students can go into the Administration of Justice concentration. That concentration does have Administration of Justice courses. There are more Administration of Justice courses in this applied science degree. There are 15 credits of general education courses. So again, if you are interested in getting some theory so that will help prepare you for the workforce, then the Administration of Justice concentration might be an option. All right, there's another option for students that are 21 years of age or older, and that's the law enforcement concentration. So if you were thinking about going into the academy and you wanted to maybe become a police officer, this would be the ideal concentration for you to have. This concentration also includes the gen eds. You would be doing 15 credits of gen eds, and you would also be doing the law enforcement concentration. So to recap, the programs that we'll be covering today are the Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts, Administration of Justice concentration, and then we also have the Associate of Applied Science Justice profession. Within that particular degree, there are two specific concentrations. There's the Administration of Justice concentration and the Law Enforcement concentration. So take some time out to really think about the direction you want to go. If your program of study is not reflecting the true program you want to go into, you have to talk to your advisor about a change of program form. But in the meantime, this gives you something to think about. What program do I want to do in the area of administration of justice? So you had a little moment to think about the program of study, the direction that you actually want to go, the right degree program that would be suited for you based on the career goals that you have. But you might want to know, like, how are these degree programs going to prepare you for this career that you want to go into? So the next question we're going to be responding to is, how does your degree prepare you for your career? Okay, so these are some of the basic competencies that you're going to learn in this program. Okay, so if you want to effectively, you want to be able to speak to people in the industry about criminal justice. You want to be able to talk in the profession. So communicate in the criminal justice environment is something that you want to do, and you can do when you complete this degree. You're going to be able to apply the law. You're going to be able to demonstrate mastery of basic investigative skills. You're going to be able to demonstrate critical thinking in the criminal justice environment. So I'm going to take a moment out just to kind of look at the degree program so that I can be able to let you know about some of the courses that you will be seeing in these programs, and just to give you a sense how general it is and how it really covers the gamut of preparation in the administration of justice profession. So for instance, if you go into the field of administration of justice, there are various classes you're going to be taking, right? It's your general education, of course, and then you're going to take classes like criminal procedures, ethics, criminal investigation, criminology, right? Issues in administration of justice. So do you really get a sense of that theoretical, the broadness that would be applicable in any direction you think you want to go into in the administration of justice profession? So I wanted you to give an idea, let you know a little bit about the titles that you will be, and the classes you'll be taking when you're in these programs. But again, these courses will apply the law. They will give you basic investigative skills, and they will give you an opportunity just to really think about the policies and procedures, how they were developed, how they are applied. So this is good information to go into, to go into any one of these professions. So some of the professions that you can go into with this degree are the court and law. So if you want to be a lawyer, wouldn't it be helpful to know about the law, the policies, the procedures, political science, investigation, how you go about investigating. So this would be good background information to have as a lawyer, a judge, a court clerk. You can go into the area of corrections, have an understanding about the systems itself. You can go into law enforcement, investigation, Homeland Security, and social work. So even for those people who like variety in their career planning, yeah, you have lots of options you can go into with this particular degree, right? So these, whether you're going into the administration of justice concentration or you're going into the applied science professions, then you definitely have options, career options that you can build on with this degree. So the question is, okay, so I'm going into administration of justice. I made some decisions. I'm going to review the careers that I could potentially go into. I'm going to strategize now about the way I'm going to approach my career. But you're going to need somebody within the college to help you. Okay, so all students that are in the administration of justice program have a program advisor. Right. So I want to say the names of the program advisor. You definitely have the names of the program advisor on your slides. But if you have a last name that begins from that goes from A to H, you're going to be working with Tanya Pruser. Her email is here, thawks@pima.edu, and her phone number is 520-206-6992. If you have a last name from I through Q, you're going to be working with Michelle Savage. Michelle Savage's email is msavage@pima.edu. Her phone number is 520-206-7464. If you have a last name of R through Z, you're going to be working with me, Delisa Siddall, and my email is dsiddall@pima.edu, and my phone number is 520-206-7465. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I am an academic advisor, but I am also an academic success counselor. So part of my role is to support students from the start and until graduation. And I know that when students come to college, they have a lot of things that are going on outside of the college. So it's important to provide support to students so that they can get their grades of C or better in their classes and successfully finish their requirements and graduate. But sometimes students do have obstacles, and sometimes they don't get that C or better that they're shooting to get or really want to get. So in that case, I would be reaching out to you, and I would be just wanting to meet with you so that we can discuss strategies for your success. All right, sometimes it could be simple little things. An example comes to mind is about math. Sometimes students have challenges with the math class, and it could be a number of things. It could be they can't take time because of work. It could be that they don't know how to get connected with the tutor. It could be they're nervous about connecting with the tutor. It could be test anxiety. It could be study skills. They don't practice consistently, or if they don't understand they don't ask for help. So there could be a number of reasons why. So if we can understand exactly what the cause of the reason for the challenge, then we can come up with a plan for success. And I work closely with the students to make that happen. So please, you'll be hearing from me. Just know, like Elisa said, whether your last name begins with an A or ends with a Z, I help with all students who have academic challenges that are in the division of workforce. So you have an advisor, Michelle, Tanya, Delisa, but when is a good time to meet with them? And if you did meet with them, what would you be talking about? Or what will we be talking about? So we have this thing called an advising syllabus. And the reason why this advising syllabus is important is because it gives you milestones. It gives you periods when you should meet with an advisor to discuss what. So now that you're brand new to the college, you're really connecting with us. You're connecting with us by attending an orientation. You're connecting with us by attending a Connect You orientation. You're connecting with us by getting involved with student life. You're connecting with us by learning which classes you need to take, how to register for them, those kind of things. So you're really staying in, and you're learning about what kind of resources we have at the college. So to connect with us is to stay informed and really learn about our Pima Community College. What do we have to offer? Now, naturally, you're brand new here, so you are going to have to rely on us to a certain extent. And of course, so you can do your own personal investigation, but you can rely on us to give you some information to get you started. Okay, so you're going to want to stay informed. You're going to really want to learn, and you're going to want to meet with your advisor. And I recommend that you meet with your advisor right now. Right now would be a great time. You don't have any credits right now, and I want you to feel free to meet with your advisor as soon as you get to 15 credits, and I would want to explain to you why shortly. And then I want you to be able to meet with the advisor to explore your program. So maybe you did make a decision on a program, but you're not really sure if that's specifically the program you want to go into, or maybe you want to know specifics about your career. So you want to check with your program advisor from 0 to 15 credits so that you can get this information. Right? You can also want to connect with your program advisors or my provider immediately to really talk about your planner. That planner is going to really map out the classes you need to take each semester from now until graduation. So you really want to meet with your advisor immediately to get that stuff taken care of. All right, so it continues. So now you're here, past 15 credits, and you're learning about the system. You understand a little bit more. You know how to register for classes. You know how to withdraw. You know how to drop. You know how to pay for your classes. But this is the time when students take a little bit more responsibility for their education. They can become a little bit more independent. They know, they learn about things like, I think I am going to take an honors course because I want to be able to do something for the community. I want to be able to build my resume. So they might be interested in doing things to really kind of improve their education. They want to use the resources more in depth and not as nervous about it because they become pros in the educational experience since they've been here for a little while. And then you want to apply for special admissions at this point. So you've been here for a little while, you completed your prerequisite courses to get into specific programs. Like let's say you want to get into Law Enforcement Academy, you met the requirements. So you want to be able to apply for these programs. So as a continuing student, you want to meet the advisors to make sure with your advisor to discuss that. Okay. I want to get involved with honors. I want to get involved with PTK. I want to get involved with student life. So you want to meet with your advisors to get connected so you can build on that education in the classroom and outside of the classroom. Then you want to meet with your advisors like when you get towards the end of your degree, or even the middle for planning, like what university am I going to? Am I taking the right classes I need to get to the university? So exactly who are the recruiters to the university so I can get to talk to them a little sooner than later. And how do I apply for graduation? So you want to meet with the advisors early so that you can get those questions answered. So when we talk about complete, we're talking about applying for graduation, connecting you with university coordinators and helping you investigate your career a little bit more. Don't you want to do an internship, right? Don't you want to do a practicum? Those kind of things. You want to be able to do that before you complete your experience here at Pima, all right? So I'm going to go to the next slide now. So as a brand new student at Pima, you want to make sure you connect with your instructor, with the financial aid advisor, and learn about the student resources immediately. Okay, so here at this at this registration session, you're learning how to register for classes. We're going to teach you how to do that so that every semester you can register early at the beginning of the registration so you can get the ideal classes. You're going to be able to meet with your advisor soon so you don't have to wait to talk to your advisor. You can have some time with your advisor. We can extend the appointments out when it's not so busy. You're going to want to know how to pay for your college. So you're going to want to connect with financial aid. You're going to want to connect with your scholarship, with the foundation so that you can get some information about your scholarship. You're going to want to learn about college work study. Maybe you want to work on campus instead of working elsewhere. So you want to do that. You want to apply for scholarships so that you can find some ways to get additional free money. You want to find out about your veterans benefits. Are you in the right program? Do you have all the paperwork that is needed to complete in order to get be eligible for your benefits? And then you also want to know about the student resources here. You want to know about things like tutoring. You want to know about our mentors or that provide our education coaches. You want to find out about the people that can assist you with your education, right? And then one of the important things you definitely want to know is your My Degree plan. You want to meet with your advisor, like I said earlier, from 0 to 15 credits, because we want to map out every single class you need to take from the beginning of your educational experience to the end, all right? So, and then this way, you'll know how many classes you're going to take each semester. You know exactly which classes you want to take, and then you can get to tell your family members and friends when you're going to graduate, because you're going to have a deadline exactly on when that can happen. All right, we encourage you to really get through the program as quickly as possible, because as you know, education gets more expensive and things do happen outside the college, and we don't really want anything to get in the way. The other thing is that we have a lot of program changes that occur each semester, every several years. So I don't want you to get caught up in program changes and having to change your program. Our goal is really to get you in and out of the college and get you to your final goals. All right. So when you meet with your advisor, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to be talking about, if you're transferring to a university, we're going to be talking to you in a little bit more in depth about the AJAC. Okay, so the AJAC is our gen ed courses. The 35 credits of gen ed courses are like 11 classes, and those classes will transfer to a university. So we made an agreement with the universities at all community colleges here in Arizona. And basically what we're saying is, if a student completes their AJAC and they have the AJAC certified at their community college, they will not need to take any lower level general education courses at the university. So that's exciting news, okay? So the goal we're going to be having is to make sure that you have the right general education courses to complete the AJAC so that you will not have to take any lower level general education courses at the university at an increased cost, all right? So that would be 35 credits if you're transferring. So at the AJAC, it happens to be that the general education cluster that is embedded in the administration of justice concentration. Right? So there are a couple of parts. There are the AJAC piece, and there's also the core courses and the required support courses and the concentration that are part of the administration of justice concentration, right? Now, there are some students that are interested in the applied science degree. So if you're an applied science degree student, you're not going to be taking as many gen eds. In fact, you're going to be taking 15 credits of gen eds, right? And you're going to be working with your advisor to make sure that those 15 credits are the ones that are needed for your applied science degree. But this is another thing you want to keep in mind with that applied science degree. Although you're taking 15 credits, it's not the 35 certified credits that are needed for transfer. So that you might be having to take some additional courses if you change from an applied science degree to a transfer degree. But you could talk to your advisor about that a lot more when you meet with her, okay? All right, so with that applied science degree, I just also want to note that you're going to be taking more administration of justice courses than you would for the transfer degree. But you are interested, if you're doing an applied science degree, is getting the theoretical information so that you can go into a profession, you can get some experience. So think about those things, those two options. You have the transfer degree that includes the AJAC, and then you have the career and technical education piece that is that's part of the applied science degree. Okay? So if we go back to our degrees again, I'll just go back just to kind of remind you. Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts, Administration of Justice concentration includes the AJAC. The Associate of Applied Science Justice profession includes the career and technical education credits. Within these degrees, you'll have core classes, support classes, and concentration courses, okay? So this is just a breakdown, just an overview. So you're like, when you're looking at these slides, just think about, okay, if I'm transferring, I have to do an AJAC. Oh yeah, if I do an applied science degree, I have to do the career and technical education classes. Oh yeah, part of my degree are core classes, support classes, and concentration classes, okay? Go to the next slide. Okay, so you're a brand new student, and a lot of you have just graduated from high school. Okay, maybe some of you haven't just graduated from high school, and that's perfectly fine. All right, for those who just graduated from high school, we try to get your high school transcripts first. Ideally, if you have a GPA from high school, unweighted GPA of 3.25, then we would be able to get you into college level courses. Okay. But we know in high school, so many things are going on, and not every student focuses 100% on high school courses. So we know that sometime your transcript is not a true reflection of who you are as a student. So we'll ask you to take your assessments, okay? And have you take your assessments in reading, writing, and math. All right, and sometimes when students take their assessments and they look at their scores, they just have a hard time, and I'm always confused. Like, I get it, but I'm always thinking, it's not as bad as you think, okay? So even if you took your assessments and you tested in a foundational course, the most basic one to prepare you for the higher level courses, then you would be starting at ACL 80. Next one you would be going into is Reading 91. And you would have to speak to your advisor to see if you need Reading 112. In our program, no, you don't need the Reading 112. You just need to finish the Reading 91, and then you would have met your reading requirement. Right? Now, for writing, same kind of similar track, just 2 courses. You would be taking the ACL 80. Note, the Reading ACL 80 and the Writing are the same course. So you would take the ACL 80, and then you would be taking the Writing 90 as your second course. And after you finish the Writing 90, you'll be taking the Writing 101S or the Writing 101. All right, so these 2 courses, Writing 101S and Writing 101, are both courses that can be used for your degree, okay? The difference between the Writing 101S is that the Writing 101S has a lab, right? We know that you can successfully complete Writing 102 after completing Writing 101S, but we just give you a little bit more practice with a lab to ensure that you pass that Writing 101 too after completing Writing 101S, right? And Writing 101S is a 4-credit course. Writing 101 is a 3-credit course. There is no lab as part of that course, and Writing 101 will prepare you for Writing 102. So this semester, Writing 101S and Writing 101 will be courses that we would be recommending students take their first semester. Now, when it comes to math, even if you've tested into the most basic course, great, get those foundation skills up. Perfect. You need all those skills to do well in the higher level courses. So we believe foundation is super important. So you would be taking, your path can go in different ways, okay? But the most common path that you would go to take the 142 would be, or 151, are these courses. So I'm going to start with the 142. If you would go in 142, you would take ICS 81, and then you would take Math 92 and Math 92 LB. And after you complete the Math 92 LB, you would be able to take Math 142. All right, so 142 is the math class that we require to complete your associate's degree here at Pima in Administration of Justice, whether you go for the transfer or whether you do the applied science degree. But we know that there are students that want to complete our degree and also go to a university. So some students who are going into 151 are students who are also going to the University of Arizona. University of Arizona prefers the Math 151 over the 142. So in speaking with your advisor, you'll figure out, like, based on the university you want to go to, which is the best math for you to take. If you went the 151 route and you, like, let's say, started at ICS 81, you would go ICS 81 with the A or B, okay? You can go Math 92, okay? And then you would go Math 97. Or you can take a course, let's say you test a little higher, let's say you test in the Math 92, you can take the Math 92 RQ and the Math 142 RQ, and then you would by doing that in one semester, 16 weeks, you would have met the Math 142 requirement. For 151, again, is ICS 81, 92, 97, and then the 151. Okay, so really, depending on the university you go into, we'll be making recommendations about the math. For the applied science, you don't really even necessarily need the 142. We have other rules for that particular degree. So it's important for you the first semester to really meet with your advisor to get the best recommendation. All right. So you're doing this registration session by looking at a video independently, and you're going to be thinking about, like, what classes am I supposed to take? Okay. So this is a quick slide just to show you the classes you need to take. Every student is going to be taking STU 100, AJS 101, their first semester, AJS 109, first semester. When it comes to writing, we're going to base it on your assessments, but if you tested into College Ready, we'll be recommending Writing 101S or Writing 101. It really just depends on what you tested into. And then when it comes to math, we might be having you take the prerequisite math courses, but if you tested into College Ready math, we'll be having you take Math 142. So these are the classes that you'll be taking your first semester. And if there's some exceptions to it because of the assessments, then you will be meeting with your advisor to get the best recommendation of the courses you need to take instead of Writing 101 or instead of Math 142. So I want to talk to you about a couple of terms that we use here at the college. We have a term called prerequisite and we have a term called co-requisite. Now, prerequisite is the course that you need to take before the course. Okay, so let me say that again. A prerequisite is a course that's required before. All right, so they give an example right here. So let's say you eventually want to take Writing 102. You can't take Writing 102 before you take the prerequisite of Writing 101. So here with that definition, the course required before is prerequisite. So you need the prerequisite of Writing 101 before taking Writing 102. When we use the term co-requisite, that means that the courses to be taken at the same time, right? So with Math 92, even though you want to take 92, we require that you take the co-requisite of Math 92 LB, the lab. Okay, so you're taking the Math 92 lab and you're taking the Math 92 class, co-requisite. So prerequisite, course required before. Example, Writing 101 is the prerequisite for Writing 102. And with the term co-requisite, courses to be taken at the same time, Math 92 and Math 92 LB need to be taken at the same time. And you're going to want to meet with your advisor to make sure that the course registration numbers are the correct ones. They have specific labs for the specific Math 92 class, so your advisor can assist you with that choice. All right. So I want to show you the makings of a registration schedule. Okay, what is in a registration schedule? Right. So we're going to go through it by number. Okay. Number 1, that's the course registration number. That is the number that we need to register you for classes. If you needed anything, the most important thing would be the CRN number. Once you have the CRN number, you're going to be able to populate the class times, the dates, the length of the semester on your schedule. Okay. So 1 is the course registration number. If we go to number 2, there you'll find the meeting days. In this case, it's Tuesday and Thursday. The semester starts August 19th and it's December 14th. So this is a 16-week semester. Remember, we have different lengths of semesters. So it's really important for you to pay attention to the length, right? And then the time that this class meets. The class meets from, in this case, from 8:15 to 9:30. So you have Tuesday and Thursday in this scenario, and meets in August, ends in December, and it starts at 8:15 and 9:30. So students have to, no matter whatever the modality is, they have to meet at that time. Okay? All right, so I brought up that term modality, okay? And modality is in number 3, okay? So that's the method that the course is going to be taught. All right, so we have different modalities. We have the virtual modality. So the virtual modality is that you log in online with a camera, similar to what we're doing now. You'll see the instructor, you'll see the students. You're going to log in this case, Tuesday and Thursday from 8:15 to 9:30. And you would be able, you have to turn in assignments every week. You have to engage in the course material. If there's any challenges, you have to let the instructor know right away. So that's how virtual classes work. When we talk about online classes, you won't see days, you won't see times, because it's asynchronous, meaning that you get to do the work any time of day. But you have to keep in mind, in online classes, you have to turn in assignments every week. You have to pay close attention to the rules of the class. You have to log into your D2L account. You have to make sure you review the syllabus. You have to look at the outline for the course. It's your responsibility to make sure you get your assignments in weekly in the online course. Same true for a virtual course or even a face-to-face course, but I do want you to be aware that there is an expectation. You have to follow the guidelines of the course and the rules that the instructor has set up for the class. Okay? Each instructor is different, so pay attention to each syllabi you receive. Okay? Now, we have the hybrid class. Now, hybrid is about seat time, okay? So you're going to be, part of your class is going to be online, and the other part of your class is going to be face-to-face in a hybrid format. All right, so some students like that because if you're in a 3-hour class, the time is reduced. You're not sitting in the class for 3 hours. But you got to keep in mind that there's a lot of coursework that goes on outside of class online. So your options for the modalities are virtual, online, hybrid, and in person. When you look at number 4, it's about the status. In this case, the class is open. So that means you still can register for the class. There is also, sometimes you will be able to see that the class only has a wait list. That means that you can register for the class, but be put on a wait list. So you're just being put on the line for the instructor to consider if he or she will sign you into that class. So if you're on a wait list, you're not registered for the course, you're just in place, all right? So when the instructor makes a decision about signing students into the class, they will start at number 1. So let's say you're number 5, you have to go through 1 to 4 first before the instructor gets a hold of you, okay? So if you're on the wait list, just remember it's not a guarantee, right? So, but you can register for that wait list course if that's an ideal time. We do encourage students to get on the wait list because it helps us understand as the department if we need to add other sections because there's a demand for the course. So if you want to go on the wait list, sign in on the wait list. I would also recommend that if you have a secondary course, maybe consider registering for that. And then if this wait list class opens up, then you'll drop that class and you'll be able to take that, register for the wait list. Now, if the wait list class starts after the semester begins, or even if you were given permission to get into the wait list class, you're going to have to meet with your advisor so that we can put you in the class. You're not going to be able to get into the class on your own. So you're going to have to meet with your advisor to be put into your wait list class, okay? All right, so let's go down to number 6, approval needed, additional fees. So I'm going to go into number 6. In this case, there's no approval needed. So you don't need a faculty to sign you into this class. You don't need an advisor to sign you into this class. There's no special instructions for this particular class. All right, and then in number 7, prerequisite and co-requisite, okay? That's number 7 here, okay? To find that information, you're gonna need to go in the section called info. And that info section will give you information about what the prerequisites are for this course, what are the co-requisites for this course, if this course fulfills other requirements that are required for your degree. So it's really important just to log into that, just kind of select that link so you can check out the information regarding the course, okay? All right. So Just to wrap your mind around things, because I just said a few things, I just want to go in a nutshell over some things we have already covered. First thing we already covered is that the names of the programs that we are covering in this particular workshop. We're focusing on administration of justice. And then we want you to understand the importance of the degree and how it prepares you for your career. We also wanted you to know the different professions you can go into with the administration of justice degrees we talked about today. You definitely want to get in touch with your program advisors right from the start, okay? Your program advisors are listed here based on your last name. Right. You have an advising syllabus to help you understand when you should connect with your advisor and what specifically you should talk about with your advisor when you connect with them. Right now, you're in the connect phase where you're going to be learning about the college information to get started, like registration. So you definitely want to get connected with your advisor right away, and you want to meet with your advisor to complete a planner that maps out all the classes you need to complete from now until graduation. All right. Again, it's really important for you to stay abreast of everything to make sure that your classes remain, you're not dropped from your classes. So you want to register for classes, you want to find out about financial aid and other funding sources you might be receiving, and definitely learn about the resources that are available to you at the college. You definitely want to get your My Degree plan, your plans set up so that with your advisors, so that we can map out all the classes you need to complete your degree. Remember that there's certain components of every degree. For a transfer degree, there's the AJAC. For the applied science degree, there are the career and technical education requirements. And then each program has different pieces like the core, the support, and concentrations. If you go into your My Pima account and look in your My Degree plan, you'll be able to see this. For more information about your My Degree plan, you're definitely going to want to meet with your advisor to discuss more about that. Okay. Keep in mind, there is a sequencing of courses when you register. So when you look at your assessment scores or you look at your multiple measure scores, you're going to be able to see which class you placed into. That is the class you're going to have to take to get started. So whatever class you tested into, you have to start with that class, okay? But we wanted you to see the sequence to let you know that it doesn't take a long, long time to finish the sequence and that you will be in college-ready courses soon, even if you tested in basic courses. And we applaud you for taking the basic courses. That means that you're committed to shoring your foundation so that you'll do well in your upper level courses. Right. The classes that we definitely want you to get started with are either your prerequisite courses like these or these courses, all right? You're definitely going to want to take, no matter who you are, you're taking STU 100, AGS 101, AGS 109. All right, you're going to meet with your advisor about the writing and the writing 101, writing 101S, math 142, if you did not test into these courses. All right. Some terms we talked about was prerequisite and co-requisite. All right. So you're going to check your prerequisites, like here, to make sure you can take the class. Okay. Okay. To make sure, like in this case, you can take writing 101 and math 142. If you take a co-requisite, an example of a co-requisite course is the Math 92 LB. That's a co-requisite course that some of you may be taking based on what you tested into, okay? You saw what you need to pay attention to when you register for a class. So this gives you a breakdown of all the areas of the registration form so that you can definitely see what that means. And this is talking about how to register. So that's the next thing we're going to talk about, okay? So hopefully you have your My Pima account set up because that's exactly where you're going to need to go in order to register for classes, all right? So this is how to register for classes, and I'm going to give you an overview of the steps, but we're going to also walk you through the Pima webpage, the course schedule, the course registration schedule, so that you can select your classes. But first, let's look at where you're going to be going into once you get into your My Pima account. Where are you going to actually go to register for these classes? So you're going to go into your My Pima account, students, and then register and pay. Right. Once you get into register and pay, you're going to look down the page and you're going to find register for credit classes. You're going to select that link. Once you select that link, you're going to be going into this screen, and you're going to be able to see this little calendar. You're going to select the link here, and then you're going to find the semester year you want to register for. So right now, as I'm doing this presentation, we're in the summer and fall registration period. So a student can register for classes in July, and they can also register for classes that begin in August, right? The same thing may happen in the fall and the spring. So you want to pay close attention to the semester you want to register for. So in this case, if you wanted to register for fall classes, you would just select down to the fall semester and the year for which you want to register for those classes, okay? Now, this particular video will give you instructions on how to look up your classes on the Pima webpage. And then you want to pay close attention when you look at this video at CRN, the terms that we already discussed, okay? You want to look at how they explain to register for your classes using your MyPima. So I'm going to play the video now so you can take a look.
To register for classes, log into your MyPima. Go to Students and Register and Pay. To search for classes, click on Online Class Schedule and scroll down. Make sure you have the correct term and location. For fall 2020, most classes will either be virtual or online. You can scroll or type in your code. For this example, we'll be doing STU 100. There are additional search criteria you can use to narrow down your search, and click Search. Scroll down to find a class that meets during a day and time that is interesting to you. Please note you will need the CRN number to register for the class, so please write it down. Notice the day, the dates, and the time. If your class is showing as virtual, it means you will be meeting with your professor and other students at that time virtually. If the class is listed as online, it is asynchronous and you will not need to meet at specific times. Make sure the class is open and that there are seats available. Come back to your MyPima and click on New Registration System and register for classes. Make sure your semester is correct and continue. There is a search function within this system, but it is not as robust as the one we just showed you, so it is not recommended. Click on Enter CRNs. Enter the CRNs that you have written down and add to summary. You will see the course populate in the lower right-hand corner. When you have listed all of your courses, select Submit to register for the course, and you will see a status here. If there are any errors, you will see these here. If you want to drop a course, follow the directions, come to this list, select Drop, and Submit. You'll see the status is dropped.
Okay, so you have instructions at your fingertips on how to register for classes. You already know the classes that we recommend that you take this first semester. Just to recap, STU 100, AJS 101, 109, Writing 101, Writing 101S, and then Math 142. Of course, if you tested into any of these courses, you'll be taking the prerequisite courses that you need to take. If you need help with registration, your advisor is definitely available to help you, so don't worry about that. So after you register, what are some of the things you need to really pay close attention to? All right. So the first thing you want to know about are the books. Right? So you want to check out the cost of your books. This will give you an opportunity to be able to see how much they cost. It will give you an opportunity to look for maybe used books or look for sources where you can get more affordable books. So this is a good resource. So you want to check your books by going into your MyPima account, Students, then the Academics tab. You're going to scroll down to your books, and some classes do require books and some classes don't. So you want to take a look so you can find out what the balance is going to be in addition to your tuition, how much are books going to cost you, okay? All right, so the next thing you want to pay close attention to are the funding sources. So you want to know, financial aid, is my financial aid ready to go, all right? You want to check your financial aid to make sure that all your requirements are satisfied or that they're green. If there's anything red, there's the things that you're going to need to do. You can also contact financial aid because their phone number and email are on that tab or on that screen or on that page. So let me give you the steps on how to get there so that you can look at the status of your financial aid. So you're going to go into your My Pima account, the Students tab, and then you're going to go into financial aid. All right, so when you go on that financial aid page, you should see a chart that kind of indicates if all your requirements are satisfied or if there's something you still need to do. You can select the link if you see any red X's, just to find out what you need to do. And if you're not sure of what to do, you can always contact financial aid phone number or send them an email. Okay, so it's important to check the status of your financial aid. It's also important to check the status of your scholarships and your veterans benefits. If you want to check out your veterans benefits, you want to go to using your veterans benefits, you want to go into your My Pima account, students, and then veterans, all right? I do want to make you aware that we do have veterans advisors available. If you don't know who your veterans advisor is, then you want to connect with your program advisor so that we can get you connected with your veterans advisor, all right? If you're paying for money, you're paying for your classes out of pocket, it's really important for you to know what your options are. You can pay for your classes in full, or you can set up a payment plan. Okay, so, or even if you set this up, you're paying out of pocket or you're getting financial aid, you might want, if you're getting any kind of cash back, let's say from scholarships, you might want to have a direct deposit account set up. So you want to be able to know how to get there. So these are the steps for connecting to your account manager. So you're going to go into My Pima, then Students tab, then drop down to the Register and Pay, and then you're going to look for toward the bottom of the page, My Account Manager. Okay? That's where you can set up a payment plan. That's where you can pay for your tuition using a credit card. This is also where you can set up a direct deposit. Okay? So you want to definitely set up your My Account Manager. One thing I want to make sure you know is that you must always check your My Pima account. The reason why I want you to check your My Pima account is because this is the place where you get information, the status of your financial aid. This is where you can get information from your instructor. This is the way that the advisors will contact you and let you know about resources. So we send emails to students all the time to keep them informed. So this is the place that you will go into your My Pima email to get information about PCC. All right. Now we also have tutorial videos for students on a number of topics. I'm going to give you a glance at the topics that we cover. Okay? But before I do that, I want you to also, when registering for classes, to pay close attention to the deadlines. All right. Pay close attention to deadlines. You can find out about your deadlines in your syllabus. You can find out about your deadlines by talking to your instructor. You can find out about deadlines through the college's event calendar. So there's no reason why students should know when they can drop a class. Now, if a student wants to drop a class, this is an ideal time to leave a class. This happens like about the first 2 weeks of a semester. If you're taking 16-week classes, you can leave the class, you'll get a full refund, and it doesn't negatively impact your transcript. So if you want to drop a class, you can do that, but you have to do it within the deadline, right? No exception, within the deadline, right? Now, there are times that students will really try really hard in a class, but they're not getting the grade that they want to get. So they decide to withdraw from a class so that their transcript is not, their GPA is not negatively impacted. So if you withdraw from a class, you can do it once in a while, but you don't want to do it too much, because withdrawing from a class too much will mean that it will impact your academic standing. And to be in good standing, you have to successfully complete your courses the first time around in most cases, right? So we have a good standing threshold. We say that students need to have at least a 2.0 GPA, and we need students to complete their classes, at least 67% of their classes, to remain in good standing. So to get more information about good standing, you can talk to your advisor about that, all right? So for the drop, every class has a different drop deadline depending on the length of the semester. So you want to pay close attention to the drop deadline. And that is the ideal time to leave a class, or you want to pay close attention to the withdrawal deadline. If you pass the withdrawal deadline, then the instructor can fail you in that for that class. So you really want to pay close attention to the deadlines. So again, in step 4, you notice that there are video tutorials. I want to give you a glimpse of those video tutorials. All right. So giving you a glimpse of the video tutorials, you could see that, let's say you have a hold on your account. This link will give you the steps on how to get that hold removed, okay? Let's say you're an Arizona resident and for some reason they're listing you as an out-of-state resident. This is the residency form. This is a form that you can use to get that corrected. So I wanted you to take a glimpse at it. Let's say, for instance, you have financial aid and you want some information on how to get a college education without getting into major debt. You can go into this link here from Financial Aid. Great video tutorials from Financial Aid. So I just wanted you to get a quick glimpse of some of the resources that we have available to you. All right. So in a nutshell, pay close attention to your financial aid. Stay connected with them. Veterans benefits. It's up to you to make sure that everything's right so that you can get that money from those resources. You want to definitely have your books ready for start a class so you don't fall behind. If there's any challenges you have in terms of getting books, you need to speak to your advisor. You have resources here at your fingertips. So if you have questions about anything that don't apply at the moment, you can always refer back to this link. And then you want to pay close attention to the drop and withdrawal deadline if you want to make changes to your schedule. So these are important things for you to remember, okay? As a student, okay, there's some student responsibilities and there's advisor responsibilities. So you want to be knowledgeable about your program, the deadlines, the policies and procedures. It is your responsibility to do that, okay? No matter what age you are. Sometimes we get students under the age of 16 coming to college. You are responsible, all right? You have to clarify your personal values and goals. So what exactly are you wanting to do now that you're in college? So you have to be clear on that, because by you being clear on that, it'll help you meet your goal. Right? You want to keep a personal record of your progress. Every class you take, you want to keep the grades. You want to be able to demonstrate that you were successful. You want to be able to have good time management. You want to be sure that you know when tests are going to take place so that you're prepared. You want to maintain good progress, okay? You want to keep track of that, all right? If you're having challenges with your progress, you want to make sure you're setting up a calendar, or you're using, we have a time management calendar, actually, we can refer you to. So you want to speak to your advisors about that. You want to make sure you set an advising appointment, and during that advising appointment that you have the materials ready, you have questions ready, because we want to make good use of that time. So you want to be prepared. You want to make sure that every time you correspond with your advisors, you have your student ID number ready to go. You know exactly when you want to meet with the advisor so that we can make some arrangements to really accommodate your schedule, right? You want to make sure that you meet with the advisor your first semester, 0 to 15 credits. You want to get a My Degree plan done. You want to get a plan done so that we can map out your classes from the start to the finish, right? And then you have responsibility for making like, do I want to be in the major? Do I want to remain in the major? Do I want to change the major? That's your responsibility. You have to do the forms. You have to submit it to the registrar's office. That is totally a student's responsibility. All right, now the advisor's responsibility is that we have to support you from now until graduation. So this is why we have the division relationship. So with all my RQC students, I want to see them, I want to get to know them, I want to understand their goals so that I can give them the right information. And I want to work together with the students to make sure that I'm giving correct information and I'm giving information based on what the student's goals are. I want to be able to communicate the curriculum, the requirements, the deadlines, the policies, the procedures. I want to assist you in creating plans that align with your academic goals, your interests, and your abilities. I want to also provide you with information and strategies for using college resources and services. And then I also want to support you in your academic success. It'll be challenging, but it's good to know somebody at the college who really cares about what you're going through and really will provide you with information that will help you get through it. Okay. One last amazingly important resource that I have to tell you about is called Pima Connect. And during this presentation, I want you to log into your Pima Connect so that you'll know exactly where it is. Now, the reason why this is so important, because this is exactly the place that I will be connecting with you if you have academic challenges. If you're on my caseload, I will be meeting with you. I will be setting up appointments. You will be setting appointments with your advisors through this Pima Connect. So it's really important. This is where you can ask a question to your instructor. This is where you can get help from your academic coaches and tutors. So you definitely want to know about this resource. So as I'm going through this presentation, take time to go into your Pima Connect. All right, so Pima Connect, make plans to connect with your program advisor at least once a semester to ensure that you are staying on track. All right, I accept that recommendation. Anybody on my caseload, I'm hoping to meet with you at least 3 times a semester. Beginning of the semester, middle semester if you have any problems, and at the end of the semester if you to prepare, and even the middle semester to prepare you for the next semester classes. So you can connect with me anytime, okay? Send an email, and I know that's true for the other advisors as well. All right, so now use your Pima Connect. Now this is how you get to see who your program advisor is as well. So right now, as I'm going through it, I'm going to speak it to you so that you can actually do this on your screen. First of all, you're going to log into your My Pima account, 1. Then you're going to select the Academics tab. Then you're going to search for Pima Connect. And then once you go into Pima Connect, you're going to go into the area where it says My Success Network. Go into your My Success Network and find your advisor, all right? You should be seeing in your Success Network, Tanya, Michelle, or me, Delisa, depending on who your program advisor is. So make sure you check that out. Now your final step is going to be graduation. And I really recommend that everybody attend our graduation ceremony at TCC. We had a little reprieve, but we're going to get back. And there, it's really as animated as you see on this picture. Okay? All right. And the way that you're going to get there is by staying connected with your advisors and using the resources and asking any question you have and staying abreast of all your requirements, all the things that you need to do as a student. We're going to get you there to graduation, and I am so excited for your journey here at Pima. So stay in touch, do all you can to graduate, make sure you get to that goal as soon as possible. If there are any challenges, you know you're going to meet with me, Delisa Usadol is your academic success counselor, and I am here for you. I really love that role in my job to support students in their success. So anytime you need my help, I'm going to be available for you. All right, so thank you again. I want to thank you for attending and looking at this presentation. I really want you to ask questions anytime you have them. And I want to say welcome to Pima. Thank you for participating in this workshop. Take care.